International borders are now open and most of you will probably start planning for your post-pandemic trip overseas. Of course, when you go to another country, you still need to stay connected. You're going to need to stay in touch with your friends, do a bit of social media, and learn how to get around with the use of e-hailing and maps. Previously, you might be thinking, why not just get a SIM card upon arrival? Well, turns out there's a lot of things that have been changed in the past few years, and it could be much cheaper and easier to just roam on your local SIM. This is Alex from soyachincha.com, and here are the best roaming plans available in Malaysia right now. Over at Maxis, they're still offering the usual daily plans which now come with unlimited data. In several major countries, Maxis offers a one-day unlimited roaming for RM39 a day. However, this comes with an FUP of 2GB per day, and after that it gets throttled to 1 megabits per second, which is still pretty okay. For the other not so major countries, it can be quite costly at RM38 per day, and you're getting just 500 megabytes per day. However, there are a couple of interesting long-term passes available. On Maxis Postpaid, there's a 7-day ASEAN Plus unlimited pass for RM49, which offers 2GB of high-speed data per day. Once you hit the limit, it gets throttled to 1 megabits per second until it refreshes at midnight. If you're going to be traveling overseas long-term and to multiple countries, there's a 30-day World Unlimited Pass for RM99. Like the other passes, this gives you a high-speed data roaming of up to 2GB per day, and then it throttles to 1 megabits per second. Interestingly, Hotlink is cheaper than Maxis Postpaid for short-term roaming. In major countries such as Singapore, you can get 1GB of high-speed data for as low as RM10 per day. There's also a 3-day Singapore Pass with 5GB of data for RM12, and 7-day Singapore Pass with 10GB of data for RM28. For multiple country roaming in ASEAN, Hotlink also offers an ASEAN Pass with 3GB of data for 3 days for RM28. Meanwhile, the 7-day ASEAN Pass with 5GB of data costs RM30. On Hotlink Postpaid, there's a monthly border roaming option. For just RM15 a month, you can get 15GB of data that you can use in Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. If you prefer prepaid, there's Hotlink Pantas RM45 a month. This plan offers 40GB of data that you can use in Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia, which is quite a steal. If you need to travel for a few days, Celcom offers 3 days of data roaming for RM25. It comes with 4GB of high-speed data and 30 minutes of calls. However, that's only available in select countries which include Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand. In other countries, Celcom charges either RM7.99 for 1-day pass with 1GB or RM38 per day with just 500 megs of data. For long-term travelers with multi-country visits, Celcom offers a 7-day unlimited pass for RM58 or a 30-day unlimited pass for RM98. Similar to Maxis, this 7 or 30-day pass comes with a daily FUP of 2GB, and your speed will be throttled down to 1 megabits per second until it refreshes at midnight. Digi also has a couple of interesting roaming passes which cover single and multiple countries. For single country, they offer a 1-day pass with 500 megs of data and 10 minutes of voice calls for RM15. There's also a 3-day with 2GB of data and 30 minutes of voice calls for RM25. And if you're visiting Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia, this 3-day pass comes with double data at 4GB instead. For long-term and regional visits in either Asia, Europe, Middle East, and the US, Digi offers a 14-day pass with 4GB of data and 60 minutes of voice calls for RM75. This data is doubled to 8GB if you're going to Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. In other regions such as Europe, Middle East, and the US, there's a slightly cheaper 7-day option with 2GB of data and 30 minutes of voice calls for RM50. For global travelers, or if you have a longer travel itinerary, Digi offers a 30-day multi-country pass with 30GB of data and 30 minutes of voice calls for RM95. If you're on an eligible Digi postpaid plan, you can choose Roam Like Home as your Freedom add-on, which is valued at RM35 a month. This add-on provides 10GB of data roaming, 60 minutes of calls, and 60 minutes of IDD calls to 10 countries, which includes Australia, Brunei, China, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand. U-Mobile currently has data roaming plans which cost either RM10 or RM36 per day depending on the country. However, the best roaming offer is definitely U Postpaid 68 and 98. These two 5G enabled postpaid plans offer free 15 GB of global roaming data per month, as well as free incoming calls when you're traveling abroad. If you're looking for something different, Yoodo, an MVNO, also has an interesting roaming add-on called Roam Like Home. Unlike other plans, Yoodo lets you use your Malaysian data overseas by purchasing a Roam Like Home pass, whether it is for 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, or 15 days. So if you purchase a 20 GB data for 20 ringgit, you can use that 20 GB overseas. For countries in Category A, such as Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia, it costs as little as 5 ringgit per day to access your home data. In Category B, countries such as the United Kingdom, France, Taiwan, it costs 10 ringgit a day. Meanwhile, countries in Category C, such as the USA, Australia, Spain, and UAE, it costs 20 ringgit a day. If you're making a day trip and needs loads of data in a single day, this could be a viable option. So here's a quick summary of all the roaming plan options. Hit pause if you need more time to read. So, which roaming plan should you go for? If you're traveling overseas long term, like for 5 days or more, or doing multiple country stops, the monthly plans are the way to go. We've seen these offers from Celcom, Digi, and Maxis, but do check out the list of supported countries as not all telcos are the same. For Celcom and Maxis, the unlimited roaming pass has a daily FUP of 2 GB, but Digi offers a one lump sum of 30 GB that can use in multiple countries. For short-term visits, it really depends on the country that you're visiting, as some could be as cheap as 5 ringgit or 10 ringgit, or some could go as high as 38 ringgit per day. If you're going to spend more than 50 ringgit on roaming, you might as well go for a weekly, monthly pass if it's available. Otherwise, you can consider just getting a local SIM in that country. Take note that some countries such as China may block access to certain sites like Google, YouTube, and Facebook on a local SIM. So for this situation, you might be better off getting roaming as your internet traffic is still rerouted back through Malaysia. If you do travel a lot on a monthly basis, why not just get a plan with provided roaming data? On postpaid, there's Mobile and Digi, which offers bundled roaming data. On prepaid, there's Hotlink Pantas 45, which lets you use your data in Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. You've probably heard scary stories about users getting expensive charges when they roam overseas. Here are 2 things you must do before you leave the country. Firstly, disable roaming if you don't plan on roaming in a particular country, especially if you're doing a stopover during a long-haul flight. For example, if you're going to the UK via Dubai or Qatar, and you only want to roam in the UK, you should keep your data roaming settings off until you reach the UK. If you're planning to subscribe the cheaper daily, weekly, and monthly passes, make sure that these passes are activated before you turn data roaming on. Otherwise, you'll be charged a more expensive daily rate. Most telcos these days allow you to activate the roaming pass in advance, so do check with your respective telco apps. Before signing up, do check and plan based on the countries you're visiting, and take note of the telco partner that will offer the roaming service. The second thing you need to do is to disable voicemail, and you can probably do this in your telco app or call customer service. Receiving incoming calls while traveling overseas can be very expensive. Even if you don't answer the call, you'll be charged with expensive roaming fees if the incoming call goes into voicemail. So don't let those spam calls ruin your holiday. Besides, who use voicemail these days? So that's a quick rundown on all the best roaming plans for Malaysian telcos. What do you think? Are these better and more convenient than getting a local SIM card? Or do you still prefer to hunt for a local SIM at the airport? Let us know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe us on our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell icon so that you'll be informed of our future videos. This is Alex from soyachinchay.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!